What's up, agents, and welcome back to another Division video. Plenty of these recently, but it is here, the Year 6 Season 3 PTS patch notes with a cool looking graphic, kind of clean. So let's take a look. Don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe, and let's get straight into it. So PTS is available to download right now if you're not already downloaded it. Remember, PC only. It's going to be 100 gig, game's getting big. 17 gig update from the last PTS. It will start tomorrow and it ended on Wednesday, so we're getting a few extra days with it this time, which I kind of like. I don't get enough time with it at the weekend, so it's nice that we're going to get Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday with it as well. Now, I must have missed in the live that we're getting actual mod changes to guns. Did I miss that? Did I just not hear them say it? Because if you can see here, pistols, rifles, LMGs and SMGs and ARs are all getting upgrades in reload speed. No nerfs, all upgrades across the board, apart from what they call the 1.1% nerf to the Lexington. They're all getting buffs to reload speed. Now, the only difference being, if we look at this chart here before we get into the patch notes, a few of the assault rifles are also getting a buff. Rifles are getting a buff. The UIC is getting a buff. I guess LM4 is getting a buff as well, and the MK47 is getting a buff as well. So we need to look at them values at some point during the PTS, make sure they line up. But yeah, I'm not sure. That's a mistake. LM4. What is that meant to say? I'm confused. Surely we've got rifles in here. We can do this live. Oh yeah, no, it's the LM4. Yeah, no, that's right. I'm having a bit of a crazy moment. So anyway, let's get back into what we actually came for. It's a gun I don't use. So right, so global modifiers. Now I went through these in my last video. We actually managed to uncover them all thanks to Yannick showing us them one by one. So we don't really need to go through them all again. But here are the global modifiers, here are the active modifiers, and here are the passive modifiers. Then we've got the one enemy modifier, which is important. Obviously we have 4 right now, and it just gets a little bit confusing. But way better system like this for it to be just one. And the fact that it gets stronger throughout the season, I think is a really great idea, because we're going to get stronger as we progress through it. So if we do, and they do as well, it could be really nice. So I'm not going to go through all of these, but it definitely looks like, you know, you're going to be able to play either with skills, or you're going to be able to play run and gun, which is really nice. And it does look like you're going to be able to play run and gun and have added skill power added to you for, you know, basically free due to the season. So it leaves a lot of my play style open for variety, and I'm pretty happy about that, as this, you know, this season wasn't really for me. So let me know if this season sounds more like it's up your street. Does it sound like you're much happier with these modifiers this time around? I am definitely interested to know what you think. So we don't really need to go through them, because we have gone through them previously, and that would just be repeating content for no reason. But we've got the gear, weapons and talents, and we'll go through this a little bit more, because it does give us some of the details I think we skipped in the last video. So here we are. So we've got the Oxpecker, which is the craziest name ever known to man. Why they give it this name, I don't know. But while having a shield deployed, lose shield health at a rate of 10% per second. Your shield receives repairs of 25% of the damage dealt by this weapon. So that, you got headshot damage on the mod, which, all right, optimal range by 50%, pretty crazy on an SMG, and then 15% crit chance, which is nice, meaning we'll get to crit chance cap really easily. So that's kind of cool. What is interesting though with this is obviously we have active repairs with expertise already on the shield, so it will be interesting to see how, you know, how this affects the shield, how much health we can actually give it, how much extra survivability we can give it, especially if we're not running blues and things like that. So I'm definitely interested in looking at this. It also did look pretty strong as far as fast RPM and things like that. So yeah, definitely excited to try that. The new exotic gear, I wasn't so excited with the backpack. Maybe for something new, a new raid, a new incursion that might come in useful for something you need a healer for. Maybe newer people in the game. It had that nice, you know, animated mechanic on the back of it, which looks like something we've never really had before in the game. So great to see things a bit more advanced coming in like that. I can't wait to see more of things like that. But we'll go through that first now as we've talked about it. I had 50% revive speed and minus 50% weakened debuff time, which I guess is pretty cool. Provides 50% damage resistance to both agents while reviving or being revived, and for 5 seconds after a successful revive, which is pretty clutch. Successful revives provide +1 skill tier for 30 seconds. Revives at skill tier 6 grant overcharge for 15 seconds, which is great, absolutely great. I think it will come in clutch for people who are newer to the game, maybe doing the incursion for the first time, raids, and and things like that. But for maybe people will throw it in on the healer builds, but it's more popular nowadays for a healer to have some kind of damage mitigation talent on the backpack that's going to help the team do more damage than this, rather than counting on having to be revived. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. And then we've got the gloves. Now I'm interested in these gloves, especially how they will work and how they'll look. I feel like we'll all just look like hunters, which is pretty crazy. But you can see here it has the talent smoke screen. So for PvE, on armor break, drop a smoke bomb at your feet, concealing you from the enemies for 3 seconds for 40 seconds, which, all right, sounds pretty crazy. And if we're going to have that puff of smoke like hunters do, yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing that. And then it says for PvP though, on armor break, drop a smoke bomb at your feet, receive 100% pulse resistance, and hide your nameplate for 2 seconds. That's going to be interesting in PvP. That is going to be interesting in PvP. How big's this smoke bomb? Yeah, this is, I can't wait to see that. Pretty interesting. I'm not sure we'll end up using them too much in PvE, but as far as PvP goes, I don't know, that could actually be pretty good. I guess we'll see. And then the new gear, the shiny monkey gear. Great names all around this season. So 1 piece gives us 15% skill duration. 2 piece gives us 5% skill efficiency, which great. We all love a bit of skill efficiency. 3 piece gives us 52% repair skills. That is actually pretty wild. 52%. That seems crazy. That seems crazy. That is a lot. And then the named backpack, which is the Axle with Perfect Energize. Using an armor kit grants 1 skill tier for 15 seconds. If already at skill tier 6, it grants overcharge for 30 seconds. And then we get the named knee pad variant as well, which gives us 16% extra status effects. So overall, I think this could be pretty powerful. I think healers are going to become crazy good. I think, yeah, this is good. The repair skills, that just seems crazy to me. That's a lot of repair skills. The shiny monkey came yellow, right? I think it was the gear set that came blue. Yeah, that's actually pretty crazy. Be interesting to see how that plays into things. And then we've got the refactor gear set. 2 piece gives us 15% status effects. 3 piece gives us 25% skill damage, mixing it up a little bit there. And then 4 piece unlocks a new unique talent, Return to Sender. Receive repairs of 10% of the damage dealt by your skills. Your allies will receive repairs of 20% of damage dealt by your skills. This could actually be crazy good. You can imagine someone using like the bomber turret or something like that, the mortar turret and things like that. It's just going to be an insane amount of bulk healing all of the time with the crazy damage that that thing can do. Or even if you're using an assault drone or assault turret, lots of micro healing all of the time. I think this again could be very good, especially legendary master. If you're a bit newer to the game, having this person in as essentially a damage dealer and a healer at the same time. Yeah, I think this again could be very, very good. Could be very, very good. And then the chest just increases the repairs, which again, brilliant. You know, why not? Yeah, from 10 to 25, which is great. And then you know, from 20 to 35, which again is, yeah, great. Really, really good. And then while at full armor, repairs received from return to sender will provide bonus armor up to 40%. Does not apply to allies. I don't know if you would even need that, to be honest. You could probably go with something else then to help aid your damage. But I probably would think about running the chest. I mean, this seems like a great set, you know, for that support healer type person. Yeah, it could be really, really good, I think. This is probably the best kind of set they've added, I think, in a while. Unfortunately, it looks like it came in blue, and I understand why when you talk about the talent, but really, you're probably going to spec it, you know, as the person that's using it, I think you would spec into it as yellow, and, you know, and then just let your teammates benefit from the bonus. Like, you know what I mean? You go full damage. That would be how I would thinking about running it, how I would want to test it. And I think this actually could, you know, be really, really good. Then there was a classic RPK with this new amp weapon, you know, 15% extra amp damage talent for anything under a status effect. Again, that's pretty crazy. Definitely something to think about. You think about running something like ongoing directive that already applies bleed. You pretty much could just run this gun all the time and get a permanent 15% amp without running like a linked laser pointer for flatline or something like that. So there's some good options there with that. And then there's the FAL version of it as well, if you prefer to run the FAL rather than the classic RPK. But I think you would actually just take the RPK and you could run that just permanently. And the RPK, it feels like it's an LMG that, you know, essentially handles and feels like an assault rifle. So that's pretty good. And then there's the regular version that just gives us 10% that you can whack on any gun that you want. Here is all the weapon balancing changes that they have done. This is going to be interesting to see. It doesn't look like they've done exactly the same percent on all of the guns. Let's work that out and see if they have. Otherwise, because this could change DPS values across the board. So we'll pull up the percent difference calculator, and we can essentially just put 2.49, 2.16. And we'll calculate it, and that's for the big horn right off the rip. So that's been given a 14.1% difference. All right, so that's cool. Keep that in your head. 2.3, 2.21. Yeah, so they've been given different values essentially. So we could have changes here in sustained DPS. When it comes to the tables that IKEA puts out. So we probably need to look at that. Hopefully, I guess he's probably already updating them now. So I'll probably have a look at them and do a video on that, because we've clearly going to have maybe new top tier guns again when it comes to sustained DPS. Some of these are going to have changed up the ladder. They might have already been attractive and maybe even more attractive. So, you know, some of them are very minor. Like, you're not going to notice it on the Eagle Bearer. You know, you're not going to notice it at all. You know, the blue screen though, from 5 to 3 seconds. Holy nice. So yeah, some really nice values in there, some not so nice, but yeah, definitely interesting to see. I don't think they mentioned this, so that's crazy. The quality of life changes, these are the ones I'm most excited about, because some of these were exactly what I asked for off the PTS of the last season, and nothing really ever got changed. So modifiers have been removed from priority objectives and are now available as rewards in the season journey. I didn't ask for that, but that is a nice touch. Active modifiers now trigger without ADS. This was my number one complaint about this season. It made it so awkward having to aim in and then press the button to trigger it. You just want to press the button to trigger it. I want to put it on my mouse and I press the button when I want, and I want it to, and therefore I will use it more now because it seems easier to use. This is a good change, and I've not even tried it yet. Clearer visibility of the active modifier duration and cooldown. We saw this in the PTS when Yannick was live, and I'll very quickly just run to my, just pull up my previous recording. As you can see here, look here, you can just see it. It's just there. It's in your face. You can see the bar building up. So you know exactly where it is. You can just press T at any time. Perfect. I don't know if it's going to have UI options for us to be able to make it bigger or not. I will be interested to see if it does or not, because, you know, I'm older, of the older generation. I like things bigger, but we'll see. But it says clearer visibility of active modifier, duration and cooldown. Brilliant. Players receive Season Pass XP bonus for having seasonal modifiers equipped. Brilliant. A reason to have them turned on, because I think most of us did turn this season's off once we'd finished. So this is, again, brilliant. We always like bonus XP. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Season Pass XP is now available as a reward for completing select in-game activities, including main missions, countdown, conflict, descent, summit, LWAs, and DZ landmark activities. Brilliant. That is ace. Rewards granted upon completing objectives, not for individual eliminations. Yep, that makes sense. Otherwise, you know, Kenley College. Warhound Convoy, Elite Resource Convoys, and Territory Control objectives have been removed from the list of priority objectives. Great, because you've got to wait for them in some cases. Priority objective, reroll bars now automatically refill every 3 to 24 hours. Oh, that is a nice touch as well that I don't think they mentioned. And don't forget, because, you know, I don't think it's definitely public knowledge, you can use all of your character slots to go into them and get the rerolls, you know, and earn the, you know, when you earn anything in that character slot, it's account wide. So you can use all 4 of your character slots. If you get something you don't like, you use your reroll and you still don't like it, you can log into another character and you've got a fresh 2 goes. So even more goes at doing that kind of rotation if you've got 4 characters available. PTS only are known issues we don't necessarily need to worry about. But there's some nice surprises in them patch notes. I was pleasantly surprised today with them announcing, you know, what's really happened with the DLC and stuff, and it's not cancelled. They said they'll be back to talk about it again in March. So it very much does sound like my initial guess of it being Year 7, Season 1 is probably more fitting for it. But yeah, I mean, these patch notes seem pretty good. And I am interested to see what all these other micro events are that they were talking about that are coming mid-season. So that's one of the first things I do is check the season calendar out when I get back into the game. But that's going to be it for the video. I didn't want to drag this one out too long because I don't want to kind of duplicate what we did in the last video. That was long enough as well. Let me know what you think about all these global modifiers, active modifiers, passive modifiers, and all of the gear changes. And I will see you in the next video. Thanks so much for watching, agents. Goodbye.